This is me forging a Rushlight.
It's not running, so I can put my fingers under.
I filmed all of this with my phone, so I can't get super close like a camera. To make the song bosses, I form 3 indentations and turn the material to the right each time. Then flatten out the jaw. And the roughed out one looks like that. Then I pull the reins out on both sides. You can do this by hand if you're really strong and got a spare wheel. Then I just finish the bosses off by hand, round them off, and get them in the position I want. There's a lot of hammering in this video. And the finished hinge plate looks like that. And that's one rein drawn out.
I'm going to turn this into a ball on the end. Got to punch a hole in there too.
And with the cut-off hardy, cut it off where I want it. And I'm going to upset the end here to make a ball. And here I'm punching the hole for the rivet and the hinge plates on the tongs. You'll notice I don't cool the punches in water. Lots of people are concerned about that, but these punches are made of 813 steel. You don't need to. I like punching the holes rather than drilling them because you sort of push the material to one side rather than drilling it out. And here I'm marking out the middles using a vernier the way you're not supposed to do it, but it's an old one. I've been using this like this for years. And I use a chisel to mark out the line so when it's red hot I can see where to cut. and just punch a couple of holes in it. It makes the end of the chisel line look quite tidy. It's getting a bit hot on the old hands, so keep whipping it away. It's getting burned just by radiant heat.
You actually get nicer holes punching them than drilling them.
And then again, this chisel, I'm not going to cool it, it's made out of H13. It's not a very hard steel, but it doesn't start losing its temper till it's a dull red, so it's good for making hot chisels. I could do all of this with the grinder with cut-off wheel, but it's nicer to chisel it. And now I'm going to work the legs so they're in a cross shape. This is quite laborious and hard work. Like in this day and age, you just cut this out of a bit of plate so you've got a perfect cross, but back in the day you would have forged it out like this, and then you waste no material also doing it this way, and you get excellent grain strength. Probably took me like half an hour to finish this part. You probably see I changed my overalls because the temperature went down heaps and I got cold, and I had to go and put on thicker ones. I need to have a tidy up on my workshop, there's a mess everywhere. Now forging the ball on the end of this bit. here I'm forging a tenon so I can use it to rivet onto the legs. And I'm making a rivet here to rivet the tongs together. It's really satisfying doing this job. I love flaring over the end of a rivet. And once everything's hot, I just hammer over everything and evens everything out, makes everything line up. And the rein of the tongue with the ball on it, I've been round in a U shape, and then it acts as a weight to hold the drills shut. I'm just going to curl the edge of each foot up before I form the base, because I'm going to bend them around to make them all curved. Now it's time to rivet the legs on. I didn't do a very good job of this. The rivet splayed over a tiny bit, annoyed me. There you go. You clamp a bit of rush in there and the weight holds it shut. Some of them have a candle holder on here. The next one I make, I'll put a candle holder there.